Wobbly Walkers, about 1 year old. Active movement, making the connection between movement and learning to develop the whole child. LJ walked early at 10 months, but Jill is quick to tell people they shouldn't feel any social pressure to get their children on their feet.
Sometimes when people go to coffee groups and people say, you know, is your baby walking yet, and they're not, sometimes you feel a bit not so good about it, you know, as a mum. And what I really want to say here is that it's important not to rush children into walking, that they'll do it when they're ready, because that time on the floor, see, LJ didn't spend a lot of time crawling, and the importance of crawling is that we develop pathways in the corpus callosum, which is between the two hemispheres of the brain, and those pathways are the communicative links between the two sides of the brain. Now, the more pathways you develop and grow, the better the processing and the better the communication there is between the two sides of the brain. Now, because he didn't crawl, it's not the end of the world. Well, he crawled, but not for very long. It's still important that he gets lots of crawling activity. So these are the kinds of things I want you to think about doing. Maybe covering a chair with a blanket and getting him to crawl through them. Pretend you're a sheep or a cat or something, and crawl around the floor and chase him and play chasing games, doing that kind of thing.
I do it with my daughter. We mimic it like we're a tiger.
Yes.
We're going to go and find LJ and we're going to get him.
Perfect. So everybody's on the floor crawling. And you know, Trinity needs that too. It's right throughout our lives we still need that cross-pattern movement. Now he's walking, you'll find that he's probably a little bit accident prone. Now, some children, because they start walking quite early, often their heads are a wee bit heavier than the rest of their body, so they're a little bit top heavy and they will fall over. The important thing here is that you actually allow them to do that. If we step in straight away and say, whoa, don't do that, you might hurt yourself, we're actually taking away that experience from the child. And in our society today, we're very quick to do that. The other thing is, when they do have an accident, and they will, it's really important to try not to overreact.
Up the hill. Naughty ground. Oh no.
Sure, you have to cuddle your child and give them reassurance that they're okay, but they're learning about what sort of reaction you're going to give. And if you overreact and say, oh, my poor baby, you're all right, and all this kind of stuff, you're going to find that every time they hurt themselves, they're going to come running.
Bye, Daddy. Bye, Trinity.
Experiencing the outdoors is great for children, for all sorts of reasons. And letting them have bare feet outside is even better.
Bare feet gives the children a sensory stimulation that they need. They learn about different textures through skin, and bare feet is one of the best ways to do that. So if you can get them walking on grass and on even bark and all sorts of different surfaces and textures that you have around the home, and talk about them while you're doing that. Talk about, hey, that's a bit prickly, isn't it? How does that feel? Does that feel smooth and gooey and all that kind of stuff? So he learns that language while he's actually feeling it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, he does do that.
You know, at this age, it's an important age to start posting. They'll put things in your video machine and in your because they need to learn about the release grip, all that kind of thing. When you go for a walk to the park, give them some sticks and some leaves and say, hey, can you post this leaf into the letterbox? I'm sure the neighbours won't mind too much. But it's teaching them all about their spatial awareness, how big things are, how wide things are, do they fit through spaces, etc.
Going up and down the hill outside his house stimulates LJ's vestibular system, or balance.
Now, inside LJ's ears, he has little tubes that have wee hairs inside them. And as he moves, the fluid inside there washes over all the little nerve endings, and what that does is that sends messages to the brain telling the brain you're in or out of balance. The vestibular system contributes to emotional balance, muscular, visual development of the child. It's concentration. It's pretty global in the child. And we find that children's ability to be able to control their body, to be able to move through space is all controlled by the vestibular system.
So activities like lifting your child upside down are really important.
I've got my thumbs on his knees or just above his knees, because you don't want to lift him upside down with your hands on your ankles. It's quite a weak joint. So make sure you go right up above the knees here, and we're going to go upside down. Are you ready, LJ? Here we go. Good boy. And hands down. Hands down. Good boy. Well done. That was great.
Spinning little ones on your back 1 revolution every 8 seconds, or on your lap on an office chair, have similar benefits.
Yep, you're always out of line.
Always make sure you go the other way.
Sorry, my hands are weak.
Pushy.
They always say that, you know, your time is the best time with them, and that really emphasises
And
on
being
that,
active.
realising what else you can teach them.
The thing about this age is toys really aren't all that important. It's the environment and playing and exploring and pulling things out and pushing them back into cupboards and all that kind of stuff is what children at this age need to do.